King of the Road Productions proudly presents a special Pat Boone and Family Part 2 episode of the Jim King of the TV show, Southeast Texas Style. This episode features another exclusive sit-down with the legendary Pat Boone.
And by the way, we talk about your crown and King of the Road. I have a killer version of King of the Road, and while we don't have it on this album, we can't figure out.
And his lovely and talented daughter, Lindy Boone. Brought to you by Tanner West and Texas Construction Resources. Enjoy fan-favorite segments, including the Honky Tonk Texas Fabulous Flashback, plus the Southeast Texas debut of Pat Boone's brand new video as our King's Country Music Clip of the Week from Nashville. And don't miss a show-stopping performance by Pat Boone himself, taking center stage in the Royal Spotlight. King of the Road. Howdy, and welcome to the Jim King of the TV show. We're thrilled to bring you the best in Southeast Texas entertainment, airing on Fox 4, the CW, Strike TV, plus streaming on YouTube. I'm Jim King of the Road, and you're tuned into the best little TV show in Texas. Before we kick off this week's show, I want to take a moment to honor my friend Don Rollins, co-writer of It's 5 O'Clock Somewhere, who recently passed away. It's a heartbreaking loss, and next week we'll dedicate an entire episode to celebrating his incredible legacy. If you love real country music like Don's, you've got to check out King's Country Internet Radio. It's your go-to destination for a perfect blend of classic and contemporary country, streaming 24/7 with crystal clear sound and true local flavor. No mainstream fluff, just authentic country handpicked by folks who live and breathe the genre. Whether you're on the road, at work, or just unwinding, King's Country keeps the good times rolling. In less than 100 years, radio has come a long, long way. We've gone from this to this. Alexa, play King's Country on TuneIn.
King's Country from TuneIn.
And this. Now you can stream us everywhere. Listen anytime, anywhere, on your computer, smart speaker, mobile device, or in your car via Bluetooth. Stream worldwide on TuneIn, iTunes, Live 365, or directly at kingscountry.net. And don't miss the award-winning Jim King of the Radio show, airing middays on King's Country, a fan favorite that truly rocks. Now stay tuned as we welcome back the legendary Pat Boone. This episode took home Best Individual Episode Award at the 2024 Press Club of Southeast Texas Excellence in Media and Newsmaker of the Year Awards in Beaumont. So buckle up, we're heading to Los Angeles to visit with a living legend.
Hey, Ritz, bestest food there is.
Last week, we zoomed off to Beverly Hills, California to visit with the legendary Pat Boone. King of the Road. You are amazing. 70 years. You've been doing this longer than I've been alive, Pat.
Yes. My first record was 1955, and that goes back a whale of a long way, and so that is 70 years of recording.
Well, do you ever stop and pinch yourself after 70 years in the entertainment business? Because you've seen a lot of changes. I mean, just in the last 20 years with the digital technology. And when you started, they just had the old phonograph records and then the cassettes and 8 tracks. And now this digital thing has just blown it wide open, and artificial intelligence coming up. I mean, what do you think about all these changes, Pat?
I used to kid Andy Williams about this, that we'd known each other for our whole careers back when we were recording on cylinders.
Yeah.
In some cases, you could put one in a piano, a player piano, but no, it was all discs when I first started, and all monaural. There was no, you couldn't go in and fix anything. If you were going to put out a record, it had to be a full take that you had done all at once. And if there were mistakes in it, but you felt it was the best take, you just left the mistakes in. And I did that in several records that I would like to, that were gold records, but I'd like to have gone back and changed a little thing here or there, but I didn't, because the feel of the record was in that particular take. But now the irony is, Jim, I've got 2 hit songs. One I wrote, the other with Crystal Gale.
Yeah.
And they're over country radio, but nobody's buying records. Now,
Did you put out a vinyl copy of Country Jubilee?
well, it's funny you mention that because
It's right there. There it is.
I have it. Who thought I might need this? But I'm telling you, Dana McElwain did a great job putting this package together.
Yeah, and there's a really getting popular again.
Yeah, and it is vinyl.
Uh-huh.
The only place, the real way we're selling records is letting people know that if they buy it, send it to me. I will autograph it with their name and mine and send it back to them. And thank God we're selling a few thousand records so far. They have to buy it, send it to me. I'll sign it and send it back. And by the way, we talk about your crown and King of the Road. I have a killer version of King of the Road. And while we don't have it on this album, we can't figure out other great country songs that we just had to pick and choose because I've done so many of them over the years, over the 70 years of my recording, that we just chose what loomed off the pages at us along the way because as we'll talk about, because I am a country guy. I grew up in the country, and we can talk about it.
Of course, I had to ask Pat about his days with Elvis Presley, the king of rock and roll. During the 50s, you had more #1 hits than Elvis himself.
Yes, 41 records. He had 40.
Yes.
But all, got to be truthful about it. I did have a 6-month head start on him.
Uh-huh.
But he and I matched each other record for record on the charts throughout the 50s. And I had 41 chart records and he had 40. After that, into the 60s, he took over. And I still kept on having some records, including chart records, but I had more than anybody in the 60s actual chart records because after 3 years, Elvis went to the Army.
Yeah.
And wasn't recording at all. And then the Beatles, after 3 years, began to just put out albums and not singles, not to mess around with singles. So I still kept going. So a record I hold in the record business is 4.5 years without ever being off the single charts on Billboard and Cashbox. I was always on the chart with at least one record, usually one going up, one going down, for 4.5 years. And I don't know if anybody's ever equaled that.
Elvis and I, as I say, we're buddies, fellow Tennesseans, same kind of background, and he and I did seesaw up and down the charts. I'd have a #1 record, and then next week it would be Elvis at #1, and I'd feverishly be trying to crowd him out with my next record.
Yeah, I hear you were big competitors with Elvis, but actually became good friends, and I think you maybe even went to Graceland a time or two.
I did, not while he was there. My trips to Graceland have been since he left the building. A couple of the times at the annual, commemoration, I guess, of his birthday in August, and talking about the long relationship that we did share. But I never visited Graceland while he was there. But there was, when I did go there the first time after he was gone, there was an album in an album stand that had some of his favorite records there. One of them was Miles Davis, which I never understood.
Yeah.
How Elvis was a Miles Davis fan, or if not a fan, at least he wanted to know what Miles Davis, where did his fame come from?
This segment is sponsored by Tanner West and Texas Construction Resources.
Working hard from the sun up to the sundown. They can build it tall, they can tear it on down. They got the know-how, if you got the money.
But we got off-road dump trucks, several tracos, several dozers, several guys that are very capable of following the plan and getting it done right.
Hands of a working man built this town. Clear this timber and plow this ground.
Coming up, don't miss the Southeast Texas debut of Pat Boone's brand new video as our King's Country music clip of the week from Nashville. Plus, enjoy a Honky Tonk, Texas fabulous flashback. And an unforgettable Royal Spotlight performance from Pat Boone himself. But first, we'll wrap up our exclusive interview with Pat's daughter, Lindy.
You're cruising in the King's Caddy.
King of the road.
Stay connected with the King of the Road Show at JimKingofTheRoad.com. Winner of the Best Design, Content, and Broadcast Internet Video at the Press Club of Southeast Texas Excellence in Media Awards. There's plenty to do, see, and stream at JimKingofTheRoad.com, including King's Country Internet Radio, segments from this TV show, the contest page, and King's Photo Gallery. Also, click on links to Jim's YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter pages. That's JimKingofTheRoad.com.
Since Tina Bean started 5-Star Feeds in Port Arthur over 24 years ago, it's always been a friendly neighborhood store, kind of like the general store of the good old days.
I think so. I try to be like it used to be. When I was young, going to feed stores and everything, it's, when people come in here, I want them to feel like they're walking into my house, where they feel welcome. So we try to keep it like that.
5-Star Feeds in Port Arthur, Texas.
Is your house or roof dirty? Let the professionals at Frog Wash Pressure Washing bring your biggest investment back to life. Don't take a risk doing it yourself. Let the Soft Wash specialists clean your roof, house, vinyl siding, hard plank, and windows with low pressure and specialized chemicals. Check out our past jobs and reviews on our social media page. Our work speaks for itself. Insured and A+ rated by BBB. Call Frog Wash Pressure Washing for your free estimate today.
Cruise to Larry's Old Time Trade Days in Winnie, the first weekend after the first Monday of every month. Larry's Old Time Trade Days, where you can find it here.
Word layer. King of the road.
Lindy Boone, so nice to see you.
Thank you for having me. I'm happy to be seen.
You're no stranger to our area, especially your dad, because I had the pleasure of speaking with him for about 30 minutes. I've got about 6 episodes out of it here, so I heard a lot of neat stories from him. He's got some good ones.
Oh, he can go on. He's had a lot of good life experiences.
He's about to turn 90. Do you think he'll ever slow down?
We haven't seen any sign of that. Every now and then I think maybe 90 will be a chance for him to kind of slow the pace, but
yeah,
I don't know. This is how he's always been.
Well, it's so nice to speak with you, and I'm real excited about your new video that came out in March. Have the Southeast Texas debut of Word Layer, and this is a very personal song for you because that was actually your Twitter handle years ago before you got together with the songwriter and put it to Word Layer.
That's true. I had a book coming out and it was on Tyndale, and they told me I needed a Twitter account. And just because there were things in my book that had to do with speaking words intentionally and paying attention to that we are co-creating with God, I had these thoughts in my book, and I just thought, I'm going to make up this word layer, because it creates an image in my mind of a bricklayer, but using words to build your life with.
Well, you did have a wonderful life. It sounds like growing up, and about 20 years ago, you had tragedy in your life, and your son, Ryan Corbin, fell 30 feet through a skylight there in Los Angeles at an apartment building, I believe. Is that where it happened?
At his apartment building, he and his roommate were going up to the roof with lawn chairs, wearing their bathing suits. They were going to get some sun in the afternoon, and they stepped onto the roof, and Ryan, evidently, according to his roommate, was stepping across or over the skylight that was just flush with the roof, and his foot came down in the corner of it, and he miscalculated, I guess, and his weight, just the skylight didn't hold his weight, and it broke, and he fell through it, and there wasn't a floor right beneath. It was open to the bottom of a 3-story building. So he fell 3 stories down to concrete. So this was a moment that I'm sure his roommate will always hold in his mind, his memory. I never went to the apartment building. I didn't want to have that picture in my mind. But we've lived in the aftermath ever since June 19th, 2001. Changed everything.
Soon after Ryan's tragic fall, the Boone family launched Ryan's Reach, a nonprofit organization based in Orange County, California, that operates 2 homes for traumatic brain injury survivors. For more information or to make a donation to this very worthy cause, visit ryansreach.com.
King of the Road.
Here comes this week's Honky Tonk Texas Fabulous Flashback.
I have a little history with Beaumont. My parents invested in some oil wells in Beaumont when I was just a teenager, and we knew we were going to get oil rich, but it never happened. I don't know what happened, but I've never forgotten Beaumont. Anyway, good to talk to you, man. Congratulations on your success, and I like your crown. You've earned it.
King of the Road.
That was this week's Honky Tonk Texas Fabulous Flashback.
The Texas honky tonk. There's no place like home.
Since 2008, Honky Tonk Texas and Silsbee, Texas has featured a steady stream of the very best in local, regional, and national touring bands. Pack up your posse and boot scoot over to Honky Tonk Texas for great concerts, dancing, drinking, and dining. Of course, steak night is every Thursday, and don't forget about the Honky Tonk Grill. Visit them online at facebook.com/honkytonktx and at honkytonktexas.us. Honky Tonk Texas and Silsbee has been entertaining Southeast Texas since 2008. Where have you been?
We are World Gym. Let's rock.
Need a helping hand with your trees? At King James Tree Service, we're guided by faith and fueled by hard work. Whether it's trimming, removal, or stump grinding, James Sanford and his team bring honesty, integrity, and skill to every job, because good stewardship starts in your own backyard. Call King James Tree Service at 409-779-7233. We'll take care of your trees, just like he takes care of you.
Where did America go? The land of the brave and the free. King of the road.
The whole thing about this album, Jimmy, is why do we call America a country? America's a nation, all right, but it was created in the country. It was created by country people. Washington, Jefferson, Adams, they were farmers. And all the framers of the Constitution were not only farmers, but they were Bible people. And when we fought the British and the French, the farmers put down their hoes and agricultural tools, picked up their muskets, and they defeated the British and the French to create a country, not just a nation. There are lots of nations, but America is a country, and it's because we were created in the country by country people, and we've got to preserve this. We've got to keep it going.
Here comes the legendary Pat Boone with Where Did America Go? As our King's Country Music Clip of the Week from Nashville.
Where did America go? The land of the brave and the free. Can one generation erase a great nation? 'Cause we can't find a way to agree. 'Cause we can't find the way to agree. Where has America gone? Where are Abraham, Martin, and John? We drowned drowned out their voices and gave up our choices. Do we have the strength to move on? Do we have the strength to move on? Oh, God of sweet liberty, help us and heal us again. If we fall on our knees, will you still hear our pleas? Take us back to where we were then. Take us back to where we were then. How could America fail? We gave up our own holy grail. That old Constitution still holds the solution, but we gave up our freedoms for sale. Yes, we gave up our freedoms for sale. Can America still rise again? Find our way back to where we were then. Yes, that old family Bible still holds our survival. It spells out the way we can win. Yes, it spells out the way we can win. Oh, God of sweet liberty, please help us and heal us again. If we fall on our knees, will you still hear our pleas? Take us back to where we were then. Oh, take us back to where we were then. America, where did you go?
In less than 100 years, radio has come a long, long way. We've gone from this to this. Alexa, play King's Country on TuneIn.
King's Country from TuneIn.
And this. Now you can stream us everywhere. Stream King's Country Internet Radio on your PC, smart speaker, mobile device, or in your vehicle with your Bluetooth connection. King's Country is streaming worldwide on TuneIn, iTunes, Live 365, and at kingscountry.net. It rules. Up next, Pat Boone takes center stage in the Royal Spotlight.
You're cruising in the King's Caddy.
King of the road.
Working hard from the sun up to the sundown. They can build it tall, they can tear it on down. They got the know-how, if you got the money.
But we got off-road dump trucks, several tracos, several dozers, several guys that are very capable of following the plan and getting it done right.
Hands of a working man built this town. Clear this timber and plow this ground.
World Gym. Let's rock.
Cruise to Larry's Old Time Trade Days in Winnie, the first weekend after the first Monday of every month. Larry's Old Time Trade Days, where you can find it here.
I'm just wallowing in deja vu here, reliving a lot of the experiences and remembering so many things. Elvis and I just say we're buddies, fellow Tennesseans, same kind of background, and he and I did seesaw up and down the charts. I'd have a #1 record, and then next week it would be Elvis at #1, and I'd feverishly be trying to crowd him out with my next record. And I went in the studio one afternoon to do a Chase Webster song. It was a big country hit, and at that time, country songs rarely crossed over into pop. And so I recorded this song in the afternoon, and before I got home that night, this is the truth, it was already had been selected by one of the top 40 stations as the pick hit of the week. And this was the one that pushed Elvis's next record, or last record, out of #1. See if we can recreate it for you. I hope somebody here old enough to remember this.
Moody River, more deadly than the vainest night. Moody River, your muddy water took my baby's life. Last Saturday evening, I came to the old oak tree. It stands beside the river where you were to meet me. On the ground, your glove I found with a note addressed to me. It read, "Dear love, I've done you wrong, now I must set you free. No longer can I live with this hurt and this sin. I just couldn't tell you that guy was just a friend." Moody River, more deadly than the vainest night. Moody River, your muddy water took my baby's life. I looked into the muddy waters, and what could I see? I saw a lonely, lonely face just looking back at me. Tears in his eyes and a prayer on his lips, and the glove of his lost love at his fingertips. Moody River, more deadly than the vainest night. Moody River, your muddy water took my baby's life.
Nestled between Beaumont and Lumberton, Texas, is the beautiful Book Nook Inn Bed and Breakfast. It hosts visitors from around the world. Locals love it also as a quick, relaxing getaway from their everyday life. Swimming, fishing, viewing a movie in its unique theater room, and more awaits them at the inn. It's also a premier wedding venue. Many couples have exchanged vows in front of its gazebo or its event room. Book Nook Inn hosts reunions, vow renewals, murder mysteries, and more. We hope soon you'll be our guest at Book Nook Inn.
Texas Hot Country Magazine is one of the oldest magazines in the Houston area and affiliated with 2 Houston radio stations, the new 93Q and Country Legends. We target the very lucrative family-oriented country music and Texas music market. Grab the latest issue at TexasHotCountryMagazine.com and check out Jim King of the Road's new column. For Texas Hot Country Magazine advertising rates and information, please contact Leon Beck at 281-702-2242.